Well,
Well,
hello.
hello.
Welcome to Chromatica.
That's Jason. I'm Brian.
I don't introduce myself anymore because I figured I'm at a status of celebrity now that I feel people just know me.
Apparently so. I mean, I was like, but apparently maybe that's the fact that we've been sitting here, so sitting my ass. We've been in Chromatica now for a week. Goodness.
Acting our asses off.
Oh my
Hot
God.
hell.
I feel like I've been in a discotheque in outer space.
Well, we have been.
I know, seriously.
Full of pink, and I do have pink on, you just can't see it, but I'll stand up so you can. Pause up.
Well, not really, but
No, not.
no kitties. No
Ow.
kitties here. No kitties here. Except one just came and joined me in this video. Okay. Stay down.
My door shut, so I'm not getting any kitty cats as a little cameo here. But anyway, yeah, Chromatica, what the hell? Like it came out finally. Jesus.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah. Late Thursday night. And then we, tempted ourselves.
we took a little snapple of the album.
Spoonful, little sip. Just a little, I know it's pink, little.
So no, like totally we did. What did we do? I mean, we just we already knew Stupid Love, obviously. Rain on Me had gotten released, and Sour Candy was released, I think it was like 2 days before that. We listened to 2 songs that we did not know, which were Alice and Free Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Chromatica
Yes.
1.
Yes, we did. And then, of course, though, we had to continue that tease all the way until Friday, in which we had an impromptu, fabulous listening dance party, didn't we?
We did. I DJ'd, which was nice. It was a lot of fun.
It was it's awesome.
It was fun until my neighbors complained that the bass was too high because we were just like, I mean, we were having a Chromatica ball.
But mind you, Lady Gaga would have wanted it that way. We were like overpowering Chromatica to the state of like insanity in the stars, and your neighbors couldn't take it.
They couldn't. It was just like beating on their walls, and I was like, "Hey, welcome to Chromatica, bitches! Like, this is amazing."
So good, so good.
That being said,
yeah, no, but that's the thing. 16 tracks.
You would think that would be a great thing. Let's not bore these people with like top 10. 16 tracks, but if you had to pick a top 3, what would like
all right.
In no specific order, just what would those be?
Well, okay, now mind you, ladies and gents and chickens and kitties. Okay, my number 1 is not included in my top 3. I'm just stating that right now. And that's a whole other like phantasma planet in the Chromatica realm. So, so my top 3.
We'll stay with that, and I'll leave mine out too.
Okay, so my top 3, in no particular order, I would say are Stupid Love. I have to say it. It was the debut single. It was honestly the most on point thing anybody can do with releasing a first track. It's mainstream, meets dance pop, meets like discoteca, meets everything you could possibly imagine.
Totally.
Alice, love it. Mainly also because, it's more geared towards being, you don't want to be Alice. It's not about, no one wants to be Alice, but we're always like kind of looking for a wonderland.
I mean, I know a few people that want to be Alice, but definitely try very hard to be Alice. But
well, yeah. I don't know. To me, there's particularly nothing. Facts. Specifically with me, particularly, there's nothing really that fabulous about falling down a hole. But to each their own. And then the other one is the current single, "Rain on Me." Gotta say, it was a slow burn for me. I liked it.
I'm like, your charts?
No, I know. I'm not a charts person. I'm not mainstream. I've never have been. I know that's that one up there, over there. Facts. But I have my mainstream moments. I really do. And it really depends on the artist. And Gaga is totally one of those people for me. And I think "Rain on Me" has become such a banger that we all needed. Now, you on go.
I don't know. No, you know what? It is. It's really difficult to narrow it down to three. At least for me, there were a lot of different songs that were just like immediate for me, and then somehow other songs kind of just like went above those. But one of them for me was a really slow burn, and then ends up being one of my favorites is Enigma. It totally reminds me of, and again, a topic we'll get into, but I have to say that like it reminds me of classic Gaga. It really brings that back. And
You've been to the show.
I've been to the show, so it was like I had this like once I read the track list and seen Enigma, I was like, oh yes. I'm like, she's bringing something from that in, and it kind of brings in that whole outer space kind of thing. Because if you have not seen her show in Vegas, obviously it's all very outer space, very it's very chromatica, so it totally fits. Another slow burn for me wasn't that slow.
Oh no.
I am really beginning to love Sour Candy.
Oh.
I actually didn't even, and forgive me for the people that knew them before, but I didn't even know who Blackpink was until I seen they were featured on Gaga's album, and then let me go research. So of course, biggest girl band in the world right now, and
they're from South Korea, I believe.
Right. And I love what they're doing. I love how they switched things around, and now they sing dominantly or primarily in English and just a little bit of Korean. I think that's what made them so mainstream here.
Well, it's also so on trend in a lot of pop music in Asia, Japan, Korea, what have you, to mix English in with their language, and it's actually a really fabulous combo together. And I saw Blackpink at Coachella for the first time last year. Yeah. And that was my real introduction, but I had already heard about them. So, love.
So then my last one I would say is Stupid Love. It's the first single, of course. For me, it set the tone of the album. It set the anticipation of the album. I'm sorry. I thought when it first came out, I was like, this is going to be the best. That being said, what do we feel about the track list? I mean, I know we were really excited when we read it.
I think it's a great track list. I think that the flow is very interesting to me. I think specifically with the interludes.
So talking about like Chromatica 1, 2, and 3 flowing in and being interludes, how she arranged that whole track list. I thought, I know we've talked about this before, but I actually thought that was pretty genius how she did it. I think the songs do flow very well together. There are a few exceptions to that.
Sure.
I mean, I definitely think Sign from Above could have been a little bit higher up in the album. But I do love the fact that she ended with like a bang.
Well, because it's like, I feel like Elton John would have wanted it that way.
Right.
That queen loves to end things with a bang. Always has, always will.
Right.
Hell, start with one. Medium build with one. Mahalo. But no, and that's the thing too, going back to the interludes just for a hot second, I love how epic they are. The orchestra arrangement is beautiful, and you really genuinely feel that you are on like a distant planet. There's something about it, and it really is epic.
That being said, I mean, how do you feel? I mean, we've talked about it before too. We've talked about like different songs comparing to different eras of Gaga, different singles that she's had in the past, but when we first listened to the album and like as a whole, I was like, okay, I feel that this reflects back to a few other albums. I mean, it is Gaga at her glory again. Like she's finally back to dance. Like
these are her roots.
Yeah, she's leaving this whole cheeky cheek to cheek album away, and now she's back to her roots.
These are definitely her roots.
That too. How do you think it compares? Like, what were the I know that we were talking about this like social media thing, like we had seen a post about it, and I think they wrapped it up very well. But what did they say?
Well, they said basically that Chromatica is a masterpiece combo of the fame and art pop.
Right. No, totally. And I agree. they say it's the fame in art pop. I think, I mean, when I first heard it, I was very much Fame Monster
Mm-hmm.
in art pop, because I think
Yeah.
Fame was very pop. It was very top 40.
Very,
Uh,
very, very,
but
very.
I loved it. I loved
With
that
with
style
a
that she
touch of
did.
bubble gum.
No, oh my God, totally. Like, what
Yeah.
was that song called? Brown Eyes?
Oh my God.
I
And then
mean,
it's like,
Boys,
you know,
Boys,
there's
Boys. I mean,
yeah,
there were a lot of songs on there that were very just like charty, very, very top 40, very, bubblegum, as you said.
yeah.
I think Fame Monster, when she brought up that was when, I mean, I already loved Gaga, but when they brought that out, I was, it
Oh,
was,
that's it.
it was cement.
Sold,
I was
sold.
okay.
Yeah, I'm like, if I foresaw the future that she would be doing an album later on that's on a distant planet, I would have booked my ticket immediately right there and then. Because I mean, that's totally, I know what you mean. Like the
Right.
Fame Monster cemented her for me in so many ways. Because I will admit, I did the Fame, just like, and I know that it was like the actual single of the Fame was at the time the longest uh, journey
Totally. Yeah.
number one.
Mhm.
and
I remember.
and I think that in itself is very impressive. I think that is something to say, that you can start lower and the just getting revved up and it just like
Yeah.
blows out, and then that for me was just huge. And you know, her, I mean, the whole persona, and I really agree with that. I think it's totally a mixture between the both her humble beginnings,
Right.
like, you know, and you know, doing that, being a New Yorker and doing clubs and everything, and then also doing the whole art pop thing, which was like art rave and pop, and it was just like
Loved it. I mean,
out of control.
I know that that was like controversial album, but I loved it.
I loved it too. It was all bangers basically.
Here's the thing too about art pop, which I think goes back into Chromatica as well, is their visuals.
Oh,
I mean, if you didn't have the visuals for art pop, as with Chromatica, I mean, we can
the
get into
album
it too.
cover.
But what do you? I mean, what do you think of the visuals of Chromatica?
4 films come to mind. Okay, I know it's 4, a little off. Alien, Earth Girls Are Easy, Mad Max, and then let's swing it all the way back to the 60s and say Jane Fonda as Barbarella. I see. It's like it's futuristic, B films, camp.
B film,
It's
yes.
it's all of those things, and then there's also a lot of strong and sexy female like leads with
Right.
these films. Not necessarily Mad Max, but with the other 3, you know, it's like Gina Davis, Sigourney Weaver, Jane Fonda, absolutely fucking fabulous. I just see all of that, and they're all colorful.
Yeah, Mad Max, Barbarella, Stupid Love. That's like, there you go. Perfect.
There you go. Like kind of like post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, totally.
You know, anyway, absolutely. Steampunk. You throw a lot of that in there. It's like, yeah.
Kindness punk, isn't that the whole new thing for Gaga right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, for me, I think it's funny too, is like with Stupid Love came out, everything's great. Rain on Me came out after, like, post-quarantine. Like the video came out just a few weeks, like what, 2 weeks ago, a week ago?
Yeah.
You know, Rain on Me comes out post-quarantine, and obviously the video was made pre-quarantine because it's got a production value.
Facts.
So I'm still thinking Sour Candy, because she had done all this promotion, especially with Blackpink and everything. I still think that's going to be the 3rd single. I don't think it's the right 3rd single, but I definitely think it's going to be the 3rd single. And
yeah, I don't think it's the right 3rd single either. It's too short for it to be a lead single. That's my worry.
How is she going to make these visuals? Like, this is either she planned this and filmed all 3 of those videos pre-quarantine, or this will be a quarantine music video.
That's the thing though, and I hope it's not going to be, because I mean, we already saw like Malibu by Kim Petras.
It didn't bother me. I thought it was cute. It was a cute little scene.
I mean, it's cute. And by the way, I'm not putting Kim Petras down.
No.
But it's just like, it's just that whole thing. It's just not going to be as impactful.
Right.
So I guess we'll see. I'm very curious about that.
I think, you know, with staying on the topic with like visuals and everything, I definitely think Chromatica is so reminiscent of Born This Way. I mean, we compared it already to art pop. I definitely feel that there are vibes there, but I think it's very reminiscent of Born This Way era, because Born This Way, it was a whole nother alien era thing. It's almost like Chromatica. Yes. She's back in outer space, but she's on a different planet.
Oh yeah.
And
it is very extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. Let's be honest here. And I mean, just even in that video, I mean, the whole vibe, absolutely. Right. Like, and which is funny considering that, you know, what's also been part about this quarantine, you know, aliens in space and UFOs. It totally goes with the whole. It just.
Perfect. Why did you have to say that when I had my mouth full of beer? I couldn't even comment. I was trying so hard to swallow, which is never really hard for me, but.
I was going to say, slut.
Oh my God, totally. Like, did she predict this?
You know, even with what you said earlier about her predicting, like, perhaps even going forward and like, you know, I know we're going to be like literally shut-ins. Let's make all the videos now. Like, I'm going to release 7 singles. I'm going to make all the videos. I'm just going to go for it.
I still really want her to do a video, a visual album. I know Beyonce did this. I know this is kind of a tired thing, but if
I knew, though, of course, before Beyonce, it was actually Olivia Newton-John who did it first.
If any artist is going to do a visual album, hello?
Fuck yeah.
She's a visual artist. I mean, that would be amazing. Where is that album?
With that all being said, you know, from a chart placement point of view with the album, and then us kind of talking all about that, you know, Stupid Love, that went all the way to number 5, you know, and then kind of fell off the charts like that. It's like, what did they say? Oh God, the gays gave up on that so quickly, which I was like, oh, that's so sad. Now, mind you, here's Rain on Me, debuted at number 1. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that is big deal. That puts her on a tie with Britney Spears. And then you have, Mariah Carey?
Don't say it.
I know. It's very rough for you. Putting that aside, though, what do you think that means for the album?
I mean, we are sitting in the stardust of Chromatica. We are one day away from actually finding out where it placed. Why we decided to film this video today, I don't know. It just worked out with our schedule. But hey.
It's kind of a fun little sense of not knowing,
exactly.
Right?
It's giving us, it kind of gives us this whole sense of not knowing and maybe even able to predict something. Obviously, it's not really a prediction because, I mean, it's, if it does what we think it's going to do, which that is debut at number 1. Which is,
ooh, no.
What do you mean, ooh, no? Anyway, if it actually does debut at number 1, it's going to be her 6th.
Yeah, it's 6 to a debut at that and that tally, 100%. That's a big deal. I mean,
no, totally.
Like, there's only certain artists that kind of achieve those kinds of things, like the Britneys, like the Madonnas, like the Janets, like the Mariahs. You know, it's just like that's a big deal. And I think, like, honestly, she's the only real singer entertainer of this era that is on par with those artists. You know, who's actually going to be always remembered and will hit that iconic status, right, you know, at some point in her life, because she's still young. So it's like,
totally. I mean, she's the triple threat. You know, she's a dancer, singer, and movie artist. You know, she's
totally the Judy Garland of now.
Right, and you've got
the Barbra Streisand of now.
Janet Jackson as well. You know, you've got the whole dancer, singer, movie star as well.
It's just like why I like Crossroads from Britney. I'm like, no one should like this shit.
No, I mean
it's terrible.
No, I don't know what they're called. What are they called again? B Army?
B Army, yes.
Yeah, and lambs. I really hate
them.
I am not a lamb. Anyway.
Whatever, you're the ultimate lamb. That hand should be holding a lamb on your shirt right now. It makes so much sense.
Anyway, no, it's stupid. Anyway, talking about stupid, we've already talked about Stupid Love, and we already talked about Rain on Me, and you know, Stupid Love, of course, was, I don't know what the hell happened with that, because I definitely seen that being a debut number 1 single. I don't know what happened with it. It was a great song. As I said before, it really set the tone for the album. Rain on Me, again, debuted at number 1. Album, I think, is guaranteed debuted at number 1. You have not had a dance record, an actual, like a real dance record in a while. I mean, because you know, back when Gaga was like at her height with art pop and Born This Way and stuff, dance music was on the charts. Everybody was doing it. Usher was doing dance music. I mean, all of these people.
Also around that time too, Britney had Femme Fatale out. There was like all that shit. It was like
old dance.
Oh yeah,
that was going on, and now we've fallen back into this hip hop and R&B. So everybody, like all of our pop stars, are going out there and doing like R&B-ish music.
Not that well.
Bring back the dance, because the dance, especially now, especially in quarantine, being locked down, it's like you need every excuse to be able to get up and just feel good.
Exactly, and especially with this album, considering the fact that there is one of the main inspirations, which is obvious as, you know, the days are long and that my hair is dark. 90s dance music is so a major part of the beat. It's so mass.
Let's play a little game. Some Like It Hot. Everybody knows that. We have a little game that we're going to start playing in certain episodes. We're just kind of like rating things. So Some Like It Hot or Not. What is going to be yours and mine, our top number one song on the album, and what's going to be the worst song on the album?
Oh my God. Okay. It's like I've been waiting my whole life to say this. Well, at least this whole video. I'll
get like prepared for the video today.
Facts. Well, so I will say this. My favorite song on the album is Free Woman. Hands down, my favorite single on the album. It's everything. It's exactly hands all around, windmill, hamster wheel, all of it. Like, it's a beautiful song. I find it to be a massive dance single, which is, again, leads back to the beginning as to why I feel that should be the next single, because it comes from a very dark place, and then she's been able to transform it. And that's the thing I think that in life is so hard for many to do, but I think is a very beautiful thing when you actually get to that point where you can like transform something that was so horrible for you, that was something that was traumatic, and then you could actually bring it into a beautiful place, and something really killer can come out of it. And that is exactly what this single is. You know, it's like,
I mean, that's the whole thing with you know, finding strength in your art. And you know, so I'm a pretty, you know, creative guy. I'm a pretty artistic guy. Do a lot of different things, but one thing that I think my first love was always poetry, or writing lyrics, or writing something, you know, just write.
Sure.
So I get that. So when I listen to music, and that's the funny thing too, is like, if you notice going, you know, a little bit further into the charts nowadays than it was back when it was like more bubblegum. But nowadays, the songs have a little bit more content to them than they used to. And I get
what you're saying.
No, and I'm such a lyrical person, so there are a lot of songs out there that will maybe be on the charts where you're just like, I can't hear it anymore, or I don't like that song at all. But the lyrics, they resonate for some reason. I may not like the artist, may not like the song, but those lyrics, they get me. So it's like that's what gets me to the song. And so for Free Woman, that's how it was. It was just like knowing Gaga's past, knowing what she's been through, and you know, the trauma, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Hearing that, and then this whole thing of like, this happened to me, but I've worked through it, and you know what? I'm gonna dance it off.
Absolutely. And it's also things like, you know I can. I don't need a man. I'm a free woman.
Yep.
Like these kinds of things, it's like, which is so powerful, because especially too, I always like, and we know this, for how long was it always like a woman's power was related if she was with a man or behind a man?
Oh, totally.
You know, and I think that in itself is such complete and utter fucking bullshit, because there are two sexes in the human universe, and they're equal, and that's how it should have always been. And it shouldn't matter if a man is in front of you or a woman's in front of you. It's just their position. It doesn't, literal position. Like, oh, you know, that doesn't mean one is better than the other. We are equal, and I think that is something that is so genuine and I love about this song, and it's amazing. And also, last little trait, I always, when I listen to a single I love, I always make up the music video in my head, and it's
You
me.
notice how I smiled before you even started talking. This is how much we know each other, people. I know what he was going to say. And I do exactly the same thing.
Well, and this is the thing. And this leads into, I want to know what the hell your number one single is.
Okay, so top 3 we did. It was really hard. And this actually came late for the album. Babylon.
Oh.
I have to say Babylon. I mean, last track on the album, which I think was the perfect decision on Gaga's part. Putting a banger like this as the last track, this is something that I've always wanted artists to do. And I just love the fact that she started with the banger and then she ended with a banger.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, finally, like you end the album on such a great positive note. You know, of course, with my number one, there's some controversy circling it now.
Oh yeah, I know where I know where you're going, and I love where you're going.
There is a bit of a similarity to another artist out there that she's already been compared to.
Who could that be?
Yeah, no, it is a very Madonna-esque song, and
well, on point.
She has not come out saying that, you know, she sampled a song from her, but it's, you know, very apparent that she has. It's either sampled or it just sounds very similar to Vogue. I mean, she's got the whole, even the speaking part in it, just like Vogue. The beat behind it. We even watched the YouTube video.
I was gonna say it's on YouTube, isn't it?
And they did the whole comparison where they literally laid Gaga's Babylon track over Vogue, and it almost sounded the same.
It's fucking on point. It's disgustingly insane.
So now we're going back to this whole Born This Way era, and yourself. So
which is funny.
I have a theory. I have a theory with Babylon.
I love theories.
If she did in fact sample Vogue, which I hope is what she did, I hope it was a deliberate sample, that it was approved by Madonna, that this was like just a thing, like Madonna sold her the sample, because they do actually enjoy each other. Madonna, I mean, Gaga's always looked up to Madonna. Madonna, not so much.
Well, Madonna doesn't have to really look up to anybody because she started pretty much everything, especially in dance music. But
yes, but no, it's definitely going to be a controversial song, but I definitely I get the feels when it's on. I just want to get up and dance. I get in such a positive mood when that song comes on. So that is my number one.
Okay. Well, that's very fair, and I think that's really actually fantastic, especially with that comparison. Let me just state for the record what my worst is.
What is your worst?
I can't stand, okay, I hate to say it, I can't stand Plastic Doll. I can't. It's not my jam.
Ding, 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 ding. Ring it up.
Wait, what?
No, seriously, I wouldn't say, I would not go as far as saying I can't stand it, but it's definitely not a song that I seek out on the album, and I kind of tune out when it does, because I'm a person that listens to the album from, you know, front to back.
Absolutely.
Top to bottom, however you want to look at it. So as it goes through the album, I kind of just tune out. And then what is the next song that comes on? Enigma, I believe it is.
Yes, actually, I believe that's true.
Actually, even look at it right now. I have my phone here. Don't you just love props? No.
Oh my God.
No, it's Sour Candy. Okay. So Sour Candy comes after Plastic Doll. And of course, I've already mentioned that's my top 3, so.
No, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Well, first of all, like, what do we think of the album? I want to know, like, what do we think of the album as a whole?
I mean, the whole vibe, everything about the album, the beats, the dance, everything. I enjoy listening to the album. I think I listen to it probably at least once a day. It's a short album.
That's the problem. That's the issue. And I think that for me as a whole, when it comes down to like looking at the album, it's just 43 minutes. It's just, I need I need a banger that can go for miles.
Are we talking about the album or your love life?
You know, this can go both ways, okay? But I'm telling you, like a banger, a dance hit, a meow mix, all of it. I want to please deliver at 3:50 to 4 to 5 minutes. I need a moment, you know, and then being realistic too, even like you as a DJ. I mean, you can't do shit with any songs that are under 3 minutes. I'm waiting for that 5 minute, 6 minute, 7 minute club mix. Yeah. Where is it? I can't wait. Lady Gaga released a remix album because we all need it. We want these singles that are like, you know, very long. That's what I live for in pop music. They need to be long. I live for it. You know, mahalo.
But again, you know, we love the album. Lady Gaga,
amazing.
Thank you so much for bringing this out. Yes, we had some critique, and I think anybody would.
Yeah.
But overall, thank you for bringing
we
something
needed it
out.
We needed it, sister. We needed it. We need it in this time of need. We need something to make us shake our ass and have a great time, and to take our mind of the insanity of it all.
I'm happy we can do this, and I'm happy that we're able to share a moment in time with you. So
absolutely.
Bye.
Absolutely, darlings. 100 million%. You know, thank you for tuning in, looking at what we do. This is so much fun for us. I mean, this is kind of just our life in general. So we're getting to kind of put it out there, and we're having fun doing it. Life should be fun, even when it's insane.
No.
Mahalo to all.
Bye, guys.
Stay safe, kids.
Stay safe. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.